I've got 3 words for you. Kelvin and Oti. There's nothing more to say. That's the end of the episode. Bye. It's your girl Ayesha, ChaCha, and can we just talk about the fact that we are in week 1, yeah? Week 1. Let's just remember that. Let's not even count the launch that happened 2 weeks ago. It's not about that, because this is where they are now getting judged, okay? Yes, nobody goes home, but this is where they're getting judged. We are in week 1, okay? So let that just sink in. And we will get to the amazing standard of everybody in just a second, because I was not expecting that. However, if you are new to my channel, then hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Ayesha's Slice. So if you are a lover of all things Strictly Come Dancing, honey child, this is the place to be every single week, okay? Because I'll be giving you the lowdown on what happened, all right? So make sure that you definitely do hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss another episode. Now, there is an awful lot of things that I need to get through, so I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible. So first and foremost, the opening number. I absolutely loved the way that they did that whole sort of like little countdown thing right up until like 4 seconds to go, where all the celebrities are there backstage taking a selfie. Like, I really, really thought that that was a nice way to sort of tie it into the fact that this is a live show. I really, really liked the whole sort of like mirror disco ball-esque outfits that they were wearing. And I love seeing them dancing on top of the rooftop like that. I noticed that the sun was rising. It was probably around 5 o'clock in the morning. They seem to do that. They seem to do these big dances at like 5 o'clock in the morning. That is some serious dedication. Absolutely loved it. And I love the way how it tied in with them dancing in the studio. And then the beautiful flash of orange and yellow color with the silk veils. Absolutely stunning. A perfect way to kick off an amazing, amazing show. The judges were looking absolutely fabulous. Obviously, the boys are in suits, so nothing particularly special there, but I did adore Shirley's dress. She actually looked a bit like a bride. I thought she looked really, really pretty. And of course, Moti comes swanning down in her black and her silver. Yes. Do you know what? I didn't even realize that I'm actually wearing black and silver today. I'm actually matching. Now on to the dances. So kicking things off are Alex and Neil. Now let's just bear in mind, Alex is not a dancer, okay? She's a footballer. And Neil has never had a partner before on Strictly. They are opening up the show week 1 with a Quickstep. Quickstep is hard, Quickstep is quick. And the girl did good, okay? I think she did a really, really excellent job. She was very light and very airy on her feet, you know, and to me, it looked like her feet were doing all the right things, apart from on the stairs, I think. There was a little bit of an issue on there, but I wasn't even really focusing on that, to be fair. She looked like she was having a fantastic time. Neil's facial expressions are absolutely hilarious. He's got so much life, so much character. I really do enjoy watching him dance. And I just thought that she was absolutely brilliant. And the dress though, like, can we just take a moment for the dress? Can we just say yes to the dress? Yes. I'll have that, please. Thank you very much. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great way to kick off the show. And I don't know, maybe I got a little bit too excited. Maybe, you know, because it was the very first one, I was there ready with my big high scores, but I gave it an 8. Mind you, I don't know all the technicalities of a Quickstep. Even though the Quickstep is my absolute favorite dance, I should know technicalities, but I know none. All I know is that it makes me happy, and she made me happy, and he made me happy. So together, they got an 8 from me. However, the judges, they had other ideas. 5, 5, 5, 6. I was like, say what now? Up next, we've got Chris and Karen who are doing their cha-cha-cha. I really did like Karen's outfit. You know, you guys already know that I love me some pastel, okay? I know I'm not wearing any today, but usually I am a pastel queen. So obviously I was definitely loving her outfit. Chris is a little bit on the wooden side. Again, he's somebody who doesn't dance at all. He's a comedian. Dancing is not his forte. He doesn't like dancing with people watching him. So I don't quite know why he's doing this show, but I thought that he did okay. I think that he's strongest when he's out of hold, because that's when his true character really does definitely shine through. And you can see he was having a lot more fun with it. It was a lot more sort of fluid with it. But when he's in hold, he's just a little bit on the wooden side. But these are all things that can definitely be ironed out. I was, however, extremely pleased with the fact that they used Lizzo's song Juice. That is one of my absolute favorite songs. It is such a tune. And usually I get a little bit uptight when songs that don't quite go with the genre of dance are used. Normally I am quite hot on that, but I did forgive this one because it is a big, big tune. I gave it a 5. The judges, however, 3, 3, 4, 3. So yeah, it's not great, but there's definitely room for improvement. Next is Johannes and Catherine. I'm so happy to see that Johannes has a partner. I just think that he's absolutely fabulous. I think he's got a lot of character and has got a lot to bring to the show. So I'm so excited to see what else that those two are going to be doing. I thought that she looked absolutely beautiful in her Viennese waltz. However, you could really see that she was proper concentrating when it came to those spins. Mind you, she is not a big fan of spinning, so that is pretty much to be expected. That aside, I thought that she coped really, really well with it. And for a first try, I thought she did brilliantly. That being said though, I do love it when a waltz makes me cry. And this one, as nice as it was, it didn't make me cry. So I think that will come in time, like the feeling, the emotion, all that stuff, that will all come with time. You know, she needs to tap into her acting skills and make me want to start bawling. All right, so I gave it a 5. I know that sounds a little bit mean, but I do think that there is room for improvement, even though she still did a fantastic job. And I felt a bit better when all the judges gave the same score. So everybody gave it a 5. So I don't feel so bad now. Can we just have a little conversation, please, about Saffron and AJ? Hello. Okay, so where the hell does she come from? So they did a tango together and it was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Again, they used a song that isn't very tango-y. They used Lips Are Moving by Meghan Trainor, but it actually went really, really well. I was not expecting for her to be that good. I really, really wasn't. I was very pleasantly surprised. So they did a tango and it was flipping fabulous. Like, it was sharp, it was staccato, and it was so intense, and there was so much content. The thing with AJ will throw everything into a dance. He will put all the content in the world in there to try and please every single judge, okay? I was very, very impressed with that. And let's not forget the fact that when she started, her hair was like all in her face like this. Her hair was all up in her face, and she still didn't even let it faze her, not one bit. She just carried on. I was so impressed with that I gave it an 8. The judges gave it 6, 7, 7, 7. Like, boy, I am really looking forward to see what else that she can bring, because that for me was fire. Now, Mike and Katya, do you know what? I was actually quite impressed. Again, somebody who I wasn't really expecting much from. I know that sounds really bad, but like, he wasn't really sort of selling himself as a great mover, so I wasn't really expecting much, but the man can move. He and Katya were doing a jive together, and you know, again, the jive is very, very difficult. It's very, very technical. You've got to get them kicks and flicks all in the right place. You've got to have all your retraction and all that business, but most of all, you've got to have fun. And he most definitely threw all of the fun into that dance. He got his signature move in there right away, feet kicking together in the air. I cannot do that to save my life. But he got it in there. And, you know, like, I was just so impressed with how much energy that he had. He was moving so fast and just all around the stage. Absolutely fantastic. And I loved their outfit as well. Like, violet is like my absolute favorite color, so I was very, very happy with that. I was just so impressed. to be honest, if anyone can make a dancer out of him, it's Katya, because look what she did with Ed Balls. You know, like she got Ed Balls all the way to what? Blackpool and slightly beyond. So if she can do that, then, you know, this should be quite easy. The judges gave it 4, 6, 6, 6. I gave it a 7 because it just made me so happy. It was so full of life. And yeah, I think that he deserved it. Emma and Ayesha were next with their cha-cha-cha. Now Emma has got the most beautiful smile ever. Like, she is just cute as a button. And that was really, really sweet. You know, it was fun and it was flirty. But for me, not quite flirty enough. Like, I need some sass when I'm seeing a cha-cha-cha, okay? Like, give it to me, all right? So, like, I really wanted her to give a little bit more attitude, be a little bit more sort of commanding with it. And I wanted to see a bit more staccato. I love saying the word staccato. But, you know, I just like things to be a little bit more bat, whenever I see a cha-cha-cha. And I just felt she was just a little bit too princessy with it, personally. But that doesn't mean that she did a bad job. I would just like to see a little bit more fire. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a moment where she really let go and she's, you know, giving it all this and she's ruffling her hands through her hair. Yes, more of that, please. Nevertheless, I still gave it a 6 and the judges gave it 5, 5, 4, 5. I can't believe I actually got that right. Okay, so next was James and Luba. I feel really bad for James, actually, because, like, you can really see that A, he is desperate to impress Luba. You can see it. B, he is so nervous. It's unbelievable. Right from, like, the launch, like, you could really see that he's proper nervous. He's so out of his comfort zone. Like, give him some oars and send him into the English Channel and he can row your boat all the way to America and be absolutely fine. But him on a dance floor, like, he is just completely out of his comfort zone. So I felt really bad for him. The tango, for me personally, I wasn't really getting much emotion from him. What I was getting from him in his face was sheer concentration and, you know, counting in his head and just trying his absolute hardest not to crack a smile. And I get that, yeah, you're supposed to be serious in a tango, but you can still have some sort of emotion in your eyes, in your eyebrows, you know, like you are allowed to emote, you know, and that's what I wanted to see from him. However, you know, you can tell he's so out of his comfort zone. He's so nervous. He just wants to get them steps right, which he did, you know, but it just looked to me like Luba was the one who was leading him around the floor, and like she was just doing all of the dancing for me, you know. I may be wrong, or do you know what? No, I don't think that I'm wrong. It's just my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? So you may have a different opinion on this, but me personally, it just didn't float my boat. And I gave it a 3. Again, I didn't feel too bad when I heard the judges say 2, 3, 3, 3. So, you know, it shows that like we're kind of thinking along the same lines here. But I am really hoping that he feels better next week and feels a little bit more sort of settled into it, because I would love to see somebody like him who is not a dancer in any way, shape or form really go on this Strictly journey and really rise up. I would love to see that. Now, excuse me while I just get my fan, because A, I'm hot, and B, we're about to talk about Oti and Kelvin. Oh my God. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Jamie Lang was supposed to be Oti's partner, but due to an injury on the launch show, he had to have his foot in a boot for 8 weeks, which meant that he had to miss out on being a part of Strictly. And I feel so bad for him. However, he was there in the audience there to support everybody, which was very sweet of him. I mean, personally, I probably would have just stayed at home and felt sorry for myself. But no, he came in and, you know, was there to support everybody. And he had to watch Kelvin and Oti do that dance. Oh my Lord. Listen to me. If there is only one dance that you watch from Strictly Come Dancing, if you've never seen the show before and you're like, what the hell are you talking about, girl? Go online and just type in Oti and Kelvin week 1. Week 1. And they are doing a Samba. A Samba, right? Bear in mind, the man has had 2 weeks to get adjusted to the whole Strictly lifestyle, okay? probably even less than 2 weeks even, right, to get adjusted to it all. The moves that the man was pulling out from the get-go, when his arms are up like this, I'm like, hold on, where did these muscles come from? Because I don't recall Kelvin from, what's he from, Emmerdale? I don't recall him having muscles like that. So I was like, where did all this beefy muscles come from, for a start? And secondly, where did those hips come from, please? And thirdly, am I watching Kelvin or am I watching Danny Mac? Because the skill level that he had was very comparable to Danny Mac from a couple of years ago, right? Who was also Oti's partner. I was so impressed because he kept up with Oti to the point where I wasn't even focusing on Oti the first time I watched it. I've actually watched it about 20 times. But the first time I watched it, and bear in mind, I love Oti. She's my absolute favorite out of all the pros, right? And normally I can't take my eyes off her because she's just amazing. I couldn't stop watching him. I was just like, you are so good. The hips were there. The attitude was there. The bounce was there. And then he like jumps over her and he's giving it all this shimmy. And then he kind of like, sort of like turns around, but he's carrying her like through his legs at the same time. And he's managing to keep all that control. And then he kind of just sort of like casually just like kicks her up. And she's back up standing again and they're just dancing again. Oh my gosh. I needed a cold shower. I think that the nation needed a cold shower after that because boy, that was something else. And when they use proper samba/salsa music, that is what I'm talking about, right? Give me the Latin flavor. And let's just talk about Oti's dress. Oh my God. She was just this beautiful vision in this gorgeous orange with the flowers in her hair. And I am just so excited to see what this pair are going to bring. So excited. They were my absolute favorite and they got a 10 from me. All the judges gave them an 8. And I think the only reason why they did that is because it's week 1 and they can't really be dishing out 10s in week 1, but I didn't care. I literally, when I wrote in my notes, I literally just put 10 and just loads of exclamation marks and I just left it there because I was just like, what else am I supposed to say? Following that was David and Nadia, and they were doing a foxtrot to Football's Coming Home. No, I'm sorry. I know that I've been a bit forgiving with the songs that don't quite go with the genre, but Football's Coming Home for a foxtrot? Are you having a laugh? Just no. That being said, the actual dance itself, you know, it wasn't too bad. I really did like Nadia's skirt. I thought it was very, very nice. But this just really didn't float my boat at all. I love seeing more classical foxtrots. I love the kind of big band swing sort of music. I love all of that. This for me was just obviously a big play on the fact that he's a footballer. And so they're basing it around that. They could have done a jive or something. They could have done a Charleston, you know, something that's a bit more fun and lively. A foxtrot is, you know, it's slow, it's beautiful, it's romantic. To Football's Coming Home. Nah, I gave it a 4. The judges were a little bit more generous. It was 3, 4, 5, 5. So, you know, they were a little bit more generous than me, but like I just had no time for it. Then to pick up my spirits again came Miss Michelle Visage. Girl. The woman absolutely slayed it. Okay, let's just bear in mind the fact that she is a woman in her 50s who, you know, she used to be a singer back in the day. I don't know if she was much of a dancer, but I'll tell you something else. The woman can move, all right? Also, I did not know, I've still got my fan in my hand. I did not, oh dear. Have I broken it? The figure that she had on her, okay, because her booty was popping in that dress. She had a very similar dress at the launch, which I absolutely adored. And this time they went for a more sort of like mulberry version. Anyway, dress aside, the level of sass that she gave in that cha-cha-cha, She's like sashaying over to the judges and she's like giving them the point and giving them the look and giving them the wink and just, you know, coming around here to the other side. Like, listen, girl, I was impressed. I was majorly impressed. She absolutely slayed that. And I gave it a 9. She actually said in her VT that when she is judging on RuPaul's Drag Race, that she is aiming to help. And Craig said the same thing. Craig said, when I judge, I aim to help too. However, you don't need it. I was like, oh my goodness. It is so rare for Craig to have no notes whatsoever. Like, the whole audience was just like, what is going on? I am so pleased for Michelle and Javon. I think that they're gonna do amazing things together. So the scores were 8, 8, 7, 7. I gave it a 9 because the girl absolutely slayed. Dev and Diane look so cute in their little foxtrot to Build Me Up Buttercup, and they set it around the whole like radio station thing, which was cute. I kind of wish that he had on more sequins though, to be fair. But you know me, I just love a little bit of sparkle. Anyway, song choice wise, as much as I love that song, personally, I wouldn't have put a foxtrot to it, but I'm not the one who chooses the music. That being said though, I was so pleasantly surprised at how well that he managed to pick up all of those steps, and he did a very good performance. His musicality was on point, his footwork was on point, all the expressions were all there in his face. Like, he comes from a kids TV presenter background and you could kind of see that coming back in his face. Like, it was so cute. I gave it an 8 because I thought it was fantastic, and the judges gave it 7, 7, 8, 8 as well. So next we've got Annika and Kevin and their ChaCha. Now there was a bit of faff at the beginning, like she's coming down on this like ladder thing as if she's coming down from a helicopter. They were theming it around her old show, Treasure Hunt, and yeah, like there was, I don't know, it was just a little bit flat-footed for me, probably because she wasn't wearing heels. I would have liked to have seen her in a heel. I know that she's fairly tall, but I still would have liked to have seen her in a heel. It is a cha-cha-cha, after all. This one wasn't one of my favorites. I'm sorry. She tried, and you know she did well, but it was just a little bit too wooden for me, and it wasn't as rhythmic as it needed to be. And yeah, it didn't really float my boat. That being said, this woman is in her 60s, okay? And she has more stamina than me. So I cannot even fault her for that. It wasn't terrible, do you know what I mean? That being said, I did give it a 4, but the judges gave it 3, 4, 3, 4 as well. So again, I don't really feel too bad now. I always feel bad whenever I give a low score. Then I hear the judges now, I'm like, okay, that's all right. Now, Will and Jeanette, those two are little pocket rockets, or should I say pocket rackets, as they call themselves. They were fantastic. Bearing in mind, right, that Will's disability affects like the joints in his hands, and also I think it affects his ankles too. I don't know if it affects anything else, but I think that he has some sort of like fusion happening with like his bones and stuff like that. So it's not like doing a quick step is going to be the easiest thing, especially on the feet, right? The man has so much energy. He's just like pew pew pew. He is so fast and so energetic, and he was just buzzing. He was full of life, and that is what made me love this quick step even more. It wasn't my favorite quick step of the night, but I was still very, very impressed with what he and Jeanette brought to the table. I like the fact that they started at the back of the stage as well. They had their own sort of little like bar sort of setup. I don't know how much of that the audience got to see. I don't know whether that was shown on like a screen or anything like that, but we got to see it at home, and I thought that was quite a nice, interesting way to begin the dance. But yeah, I did really, really enjoy it. I gave it a 7. Judges gave it 5, 7, 7, 7 as well. I actually just found it really inspirational because, you know, sometimes when you have a disability, you can feel like you can't do stuff like that. You know, you can't move like that. You can't dance like that. You can't be like them up there. But he kind of came on and just sort of, you know, tore that thought to shreds. So yeah, I personally found that really inspiring. Let's just take a second, please, for Karim and Amy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so cha-cha-cha to a song that's not very cha-cha-cha, but I didn't even care. At this point, I didn't even care because the amount of skills that boy has got was just insane. Now, he was incredibly acrobatic in this. Like, there was flips and kicks and twists and turns and leaps and bounds and all sorts of nonsense going on in this cha-cha-cha. And I'm not sure what, say, I don't know, maybe Len Goodman would have thought of all of that going on in the cha-cha-cha. However, I felt that it gave a very young, fresh, and new vibe to it that we hadn't really seen before. And I was so impressed because his technique was actually really good. His lock steps were looking really sharp. There was lots of staccato in there, you know, like I was so impressed. I love the fact that he just could not stop smiling. Like, you could see that he was just absolutely in his element. And again, I wasn't drawn to just watching Amy. Despite the fact that she was wearing fluorescent neon lime green, you know, like I was able to really focus on him and on what he was doing, despite the fact that he was dressed in grey overalls. Like, I was so captivated by his performance. Scores from me were an 8, and the judges gave it 8, 8, 7, 8. I think Craig was in a really good mood this week because he was dishing out some 8s in this episode. So, yeah. But the thing is that it's undeniable. The talent is there before your eyes. Finally, we've got Emma and Anton, and I can't stress enough how pleased I am for Anton that he has somebody who can actually dance. This was a really nice jive. It was very cute and flirty. I just think that her retractions could do with a bit more work. She could be a little bit sharper with them, but I loved seeing her beaming smile. The thing about Emma is that she always has this kind of sort of look about her, and it's just really cute, you know. I gave it a 6. Judges gave it 6, 6, 5, 6 as well. So yeah, I really want to see more improvement from her. I hope that she gets far, and I really hope that she gets far, not just for her, but also for Anton. So now it's time for the best dressed, and I'm gonna have to do it for 2 people, okay? So we're gonna have best dressed celebrity and best dressed choreographer. Best dressed celebrity for me has got to be Alex. Alex's dress was just, just oozing with jewels, and the bottom of the dress was so swishy, swashy, and it was just absolutely stunning. And she looked beautiful in it. Best dressed choreographer, I think you all already know, it's got to be Oti. Oh my God, that dress! She just looked fabulous. Fab-U-LOUS, darling. Question of the day, what was your favorite dance of this week's episode? You already know mine. It's got to be Kelvin and Oti. They were just spectacular. Now, I know that this week's episode was fairly long because obviously I had to get everybody in there because, you know, it is the first week. It wouldn't be fair to only talk about 3 people. But in the coming shows, I'm going to probably be cutting it down a little bit more just because obviously we don't need to have a half-hour show every single time. If Strictly Come Dancing is your thing, then don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And just in case you missed it, I've actually left here for you my previous Strictly Slice so that you can go ahead and check that out. Take care, my darlings, and I'll see you all soon. Mwah. Bye.